All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Watch Sports Media. All right, this is your Tuesday takeover edition. I did a video a day or so ago about DeWanner Bonner, her situation, and everything like that. And I want to recircle back that conversation that I had. Now, many of y'all have followed me, heard me speak, and talk about certain things, certain topics, know that I tend to always make sure that I gather the right information. I try not to do clickbait stuff. Definitely try not to do clickbait stuff because it's put out there and everything like that. Because sometimes you could get the wrong information, you could put the wrong message out and not knowing everything. So, and I do hold myself at a high standard in regard to that situation. Um, so I couple people that I follow, and I'll mention their names shortly. And usually, when I look at stuff that's going on currently wise, is either from X or YouTube or whatever the case might be, and newspaper columns. So we already know that DeWanner Bonner has not been with the team for the last four games. Today will mark the fifth game if she's not available for the team. Now, we don't know what's going on. There's been speculation, there's been rumor, even saying that she scrubbed her Instagram account, that the banner was taken off, the banner is not taken off, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, whatever's going on with the Warner Bonner, I wish her well. I was one of the people that was excited was excited for her to come to the team when we signed her because she played with Stephanie White. I knew what she could bring to the table. She's a vet. She's more like a mother vet that could help Caitlin Clark and help Aaliyah Boston and stuff like that. And she wanted to work with them. She was sound so happy and wanted to work with them. But as she played with this team the start of the season, this team has not functioned well. And there's a lot of things. If you go back to my videos, I've been trying to show patience, and I kept telling y'all, I said, hey, we just need to relax. This team will figure it out. Yeah, it doesn't look pretty now. Still doesn't look pretty. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of issues going on. Players being injured, coaches in and out for personal reason, players in and out for personal reason. So this team really has not had the time to gel completely. When I say completely, I mean completely. We already about to lose Dantes, today, after today. So this team hasn't really played in full capacity. Caitlin Clark has been hurt. Kelsey Mitchell has a messed up finger. DeWanna Bonner is being out. Sophie Cunningham is being injured. Now Dante's being out. Stephanie White, personal reasons, has been in and out of the coaching games. So there's a whole flux of things that's been going on with this team, along with the play style, along with everybody crying, along with everybody's being overly emotional, saying that the Fever need to do this, the Fever need to do that, the front office need to do this, the coaches blaming everybody. So I happen to listen to Quinter, Quetter, if I'm pronouncing her name right. She does Quetter in the morning, and she has a YouTube channel. She's very excellent. She's a Chicago Sky um, podcaster. She's a Chicago Sky fan. Probably one of the only Chicago Sky content creators that I will listen to that has a pretty biased opinion without getting over emotional. She does really, really well, and is one of my favorite, and others was one of my favorite, Miss Adrian Ross, and I know a lot of y'all know her, and who has when she speaks is she has a very, 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 very clear thought process how she does things, and I respect her. I have did live streams with her, talked to her on numerous occasions. Haven't talked to her in a while, but she's one of my favorites. She's someone that I respect highly, guard, because she's been in this game, she's been in this space longer than I have. Um, and when she says things through a concept, is pretty much you could pretty bank on it. Now, so I want to go back to um Stephanie White's comment prior to the Vegas game about DeWanner Bonner and how she's doing and what her progress is. And then I'm gonna come back to you and lay out some things that I feel like maybe is going on with her.
How is she doing? Is there any timeline for her return?
Yeah, she's doing well. She's doing well. Again, no timeline. I think it's day to day, and for us to just make sure that we're continuing to be supportive of DB.
All right. So the first thing she said, yeah, she's doing okay. Things are going day to day. So that doesn't mean she's not with the team. That doesn't mean she's with the team. Whatever's going on with her, is pretty much, hey, we taking her, let her take her time. Now, some people maul that she could be traded, she could be retiring, she might want to play with her significant other in Phoenix. Well, if that was the case, she would have signed with Phoenix in the off season. Some people say, well, she stole money from the Fever, she got her record and bounced. Nah, I don't think that's cut. I don't think that's DeWanner Bonner style. I don't think she's like that. I think she hold herself in a real hard standard, higher standard, and she's really, uh, to me, I think she's totally opposite of what Alyssa Thomas is. Totally opposite. And like I said, when she signed with the Indiana Fever, she was really wanting to be a part of this team because she's excited. Now, have things going to quarter and plan? No, they haven't. They haven't at all. Because the fact of the matter is the Fever is struggling. And the way she was used in Connecticut with a slower pace offense, she was able to set up for her shots. Now that the Fever is running more up tempo and you have guys that, you have guys that dominate a lot more from that aspect, you have to run sets. You have to run certain actions to get her in the flow of thing. She's a rhythm shooter, so you have to get a rhythm shooter going. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like she has it. And I said this. I don't think DeWanna Bonner messed with in the lineup with a Natasha Howard. I think that's the issue of that lineup. I think Natasha Howard slows the offense down when you have somebody. If you had put DeWanna starting with Lexi, I think that the offense will flow a little bit differently. It would be a little bit more fluently where you can have that stretch 3 and D out there to get them open shots, along with Caitlin, Aaliyah, and Kelsey Mitchell. I just think the lineup change could be a beneficial. Now, Adrian Ross did brought up something really, really unique that I probably haven't thought about. And is DeWanna Bonner she could do the same thing that Katie Lou Samuelson did. Remember last year when Katie Lou was struggling really, really bad going into the second part of the season, and she decided to take a step back, and Christy Sides acknowledged that and said that it was Katie Lou um, that wanted to take a step back because she was struggling, she was hurting the team, and then enter Lexi Hall. And we know how that went ever since then. Now, Katie Lou, we all was a fan favorite of her, loved her and everything, but we felt like she shouldn't have got paid the money that she got paid because of the fact of the matter is her production didn't live up to her contract level. But nevertheless, Katie Lou, Caitlin Clark, they love each other. So now, with that being said, could DeWanna Bonner mind be thinking the same thing? Hey, I ain't helping the team. The team is not flowing. I'm not getting in the rhythm the way I need to. I don't want to hurt the team. And then all of a sudden, you remember DeWanna Bonner started not starting. Lexi Hall started starting. DeWanna Bonner started coming off the bench. But then when she came off the bench, she still was not finding that rhythm. So they was trying to find some kind of balance. Now, I do think that Stephanie White has been trying to figure out to get a way to get DeWanner Bonner going. I think that she has figured out a way to try to help her. But I still think that one of the issues, and I could be totally wrong on this, I think Natasha Howard hurts DeWanna to play the style that she needs. If you looked at how she played over there in Connecticut versus how she played here, it's totally different. The style is totally different. But you can't play the style that you need if you have somebody slowing it down and it's not looking to. If you watch Natasha Howard play, once she gets the ball, she does a kick out. She tries to get her own shot. She does the same thing that Kelsey Mitchell does. Put her head down, dribble around, trying to force up a shot instead of kick out to an open shooter. And this leads to lack of touches for Lexi Hall, Sophie Cunningham, and DeWanna Bonner. If you don't have it in the inside, kick the ball back out. Stop forcing up shots just to get your points. I think that, and so now to me, could DeWanna Bonner say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna wait out 10 days. She's been out almost five. Already been gone for almost, I think what today, tomorrow could be the 10th day. Today could be the 10th day. For Ari McDonald, she could have stepped back and said, hey, I'll give you a chance to bring her back. She did play pretty decent with her when she was on the floor when Caitlin Clark was out. So could that be the issue? Could that be the reason? Or it could be another reason. She like, hey, the front office could came to her and say, hey, we're looking to bring Ari back. Could be saying we need you to take a step back. Now, a lot of us has advocated that cutting Sid Colston, cutting Bree Turner to bring our Ari McDonald back will help the team. Some people speculating that hey, DeWanna Bonner could be seeking a trade for her. I don't know. To me, I don't know. Do I still think that she could be a valuable asset to the team? Yeah, I do too. But for her benefit, if she feels that she's not contributing and then she wants to take a step back, then hey, that's on her. I'm not mad at her. I'm not upset with her. I don't blame her. Because sometimes people personal issues or whatever they got going on, they just need time to evaluate. Maybe the pressure of playing in Indiana and all that excitement. She did when she broke the record, and her and Caitlin Clark did a post game. She did say that it was overwhelming. She never played in an atmosphere like that. She never played where the expectation is so high for a team. A lot of these players ain't used to that, and then she was comfortable playing in Connecticut where they didn't get that much sellout crowds, just enough, and they just play games. They might travel to a city that they have decent crowds, but just to be in a city, a state where you have to have the same amount of attendance every night, day in and day in, day out, on the road, at home, it could be a lot of overwhelming factors to that. But I do believe myself wholeheartedly there will be a solution when it comes to DeWanna Bonner. But I am not going to speculate what the solutions is. I'm just going to wait it out, just like everybody else, and see what happens. This probably be the last time I'll talk about it until that time comes. Because I don't. One thing I'm not going to do is put out false information on a player that we really don't know what's really going on. People putting out all kind of stuff across the internet, and it's all speculation. So as of right now, we know that DeWanna Bonner is still on the team. She's day to day in her process with personal reasons, and I'll just leave it at that. Whatever it is behind the door, behind the scenes, I allow the front office, DeWanner Bonner, Coach Stephanie White, them to make that decision, come to that conclusion. Once them conclusions has been completed, hey, then I will bring a full report on it and talk about it a little bit more in depth. But I'm gonna leave it as is because I don't, like I said before, it could be anything with DeWanner Bonner right now, and everybody just running rampant. Everybody just coming out with stuff and saying this and saying that. Then actually at the same time, then you got fever fan bases divided because the team is not performing well. You want to blame some blaming Kaden Clark, some blaming Stephanie White, some blaming the front office. We should have got this person. We should have got that person. Yeah, I was. I said the same thing. We should have got this person, but you can't do nothing. You have to, because the front office. One thing we have to understand about this front office, when it comes down to player safety, personal reasons, trades, all this stuff, they're not gonna tell you what's going on. That's one thing I have seen since the off season, especially when we was doing free agency. This team didn't tell you what was going on. They executed behind the scenes and they kept everything tight knit. So I do expect them to do the same thing with this DeWanner Bonner situation until we hear further. Till we hear otherwise. So, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave it as that. You can comment, like, discuss it in the comments below what your thoughts is and everything like that. But until the next episode, this is Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment.